Dude, are you crying?
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Dude, I'm not crying. You're crying.
I'm not crying.
You're definitely crying, sir.
I'm not crying. Seasonal allergies, but they hit. Seasonal heart-wrenching, legacy-fulfilling allergies.
No.
That's.
No, dude. I'm crying.
I'm crying too. It's okay.
Support, no DQ.
Welcome, everybody, to a very special edition of What's NXT. Tonight we are reviewing NXT TakeOver New York. We are 2 days away from WrestleMania, and this set the bar extremely high. I am your host, the Rated R reviewer, Stephen Osborne, joined as always by the General, Jerry Slaughter.
Good evening, wrestling fans.
And tonight, helping us review TakeOver is the Cleaver, Colin Andrew. How you doing, Colin?
I'm doing great. That show was fantastic.
Top to bottom, fantastic.
Oh, it was non-stop, dude. Seriously.
So we start off the show as the General and I both predicted. Actually, I predicted because you reminded me. The last two takeovers, be it the last NXT takeover and NXT UK takeover, both started with the tag team match.
Yes.
So we called this. We have the War Raiders come out to an incredible entrance, much the same as the last takeover, but
with
a little
two
bit
belts.
bigger. Yeah. And they come out. They look great. Ricochet comes out. He's got his lasers back. Thank God.
That's what I said. It's like everything that he usually carries around with him was stacked in that Barclays Center because that was just beautiful.
So he had the lasers, and Aleister Black had his lifty thingy that lifts him up. Thank God we didn't have the awful creaking noise that they have added on Raw and SmackDown that is just unnecessary. It reminds you that he's being lifted up with a machine instead of just raising from hell.
I was about to say WWE's about unnecessary now, but we're going to keep on going.
So, this was a great opening match. This was a great match. This would be a great main event match.
Yes.
It was fun. At one point, Ricochet and Hansen were in the ring, and they referred to them as, incredibly, the high flyers of their teams.
Yes.
And there were a few times where we saw this replicated. Like we saw Ricochet go for a handspring that Hansen ducked, but then he does a handspring off the ropes and lands an elbow.
Yeah.
Like, there were times where this was an extremely fun match. Now, I've got several notes up into a point. There becomes a point in this match where I realize that we are watching live. I'm not pausing this to write down notes so that I don't miss anything. And every time I look down, I tend to fucking miss something. So...
the book just kind of went out the window.
Yeah. So we stopped taking notes, and we just want to go with what we remember from these matches. All I can really remember is most of these matches were pretty fucking awesome. And we knew they were going to be, but it always depends. You know, you get down to the day and see what story they tell in the ring, and every match did so, and did so very well.
The thing is with that is you don't rate a takeover match with another takeover match. It's like they're all awesome. It's just a level of how awesome they actually can be.
Now, we will be rating the main event.
Yes, well, we're rating the main event, and that's going to be a no-brainer and a half.
So, Colin, what did you think about this opening match for the tag team titles?
I thought it was wonderful. I thought it was fan-fucking-tastic. The first thing I want to point out is when Ricochet came out and the one and only hit in his music, the whole crowd. Like, I don't know if anyone had picked up on that. But
the crowd was white hot tonight. They were perfect.
Only
15,000 NXT fans
on fire.
Yes.
That was amazing. There's a couple spots. There's one spot I want to give the Ricochet, and it's when he caught Hansen. Yeah. And just boop, right over the back of his head. I can't remember what it's called right now. It's been a long day. But that was so impressive because that dude is so small and Hansen is so big.
The guy can proportion out his weight well.
It's like my 13-year-old kid picking me up and doing that to me. Like, it's not going to happen.
Picking you up or catching you after you jump from something, you know?
Seriously.
Yeah. But no, it was absolutely incredible. Those two teams laid it all out on the line. There was so many hot spots.
Near
for
falls.
War Raiders being as big as they are, those dudes can move. Aleister Black's kicks were straight on point all night long. I listened to a lot of this match. I was at work for a little bit of this show, so I listened to a lot of it. The ending, though, when the show of respect at the end,
Yes.
Yeah.
and then the crowd, you can tell this was Aleister Black and Ricochet's last time on anything NXT wise.
Yeah, the crowd knew it. They made sure
the crowd gave them the proper send off.
Well,
you can
so
tell
did,
Ricochet was physically emotional.
So did Rowan and Hanson. I mean, the show of respect occurred in the ring. You know, there was spots where it was Black and Rowe.
Yep.
And at first, they were trading off, some lockup moves, some chain wrestling, and then they did the same spot twice. And then at the end of the second time, Rowe just pulls Black's legs out from under him and mounts him, and like he's about to land a hit, but just pauses. He's like, "See, this is where I could go with this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's fucking do this."
Mm-hmm.
But then there's another spot just after where Black gets an opportunity to land a kick to the side of Rowe's head, but he stops at his shoulder, and he just like has his foot on his shoulder. But there were shows, and eventually they shook hands. I mean, there were shows of respect throughout the whole match, but you could tell that both teams were there for those titles.
Mm-hmm.
And credit to them, Aleister Black and Ricochet fought like they weren't leaving. They were there to take those titles and go on defending them.
Yep.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania, no less. Not really like defending him at WrestleMania, but they had the straps on at WrestleMania.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Representing NXT up there.
So, the War Raiders win the match with their finishing move they've got, where Rose got him up for a belly to back drop, and Hanson comes off the top rope with a leg drop.
Folds him in half.
And they stack
him
him up
perfectly.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. And I've got several notes here, but since I don't have any notes for any other matches other than the final fall, and in the case of the main event, 3 of those. But we'll get there. This was a pretty great opening match.
Yeah.
We pretty much knew, like, or we're about like 85, 86% sure that the War Raiders were going to be walking out of here with the belt. Everybody in our panel
I was
agreed.
100% sure.
Yeah, everybody in the panel agreed. Everybody, like, on the No DQ side agreed. Everyone agreed. But at the same time, it wasn't about that. It was about how the War Raiders were going to keep it and how exciting the match was going to be, and it delivered. It could have been, they could have completely phoned it in, but this is TakeOver. That was not going to happen. This is Aleister Black and Ricochet's home away from home as NXT TakeOver events. And they brought it, and the War Raiders brought it too. It was beautifully crafted, start to finish. There were a couple times where I was like, oh God. It's like, this could be actually, they could actually win the belts even for like a brief second. Maybe drop them unexpectedly to the Undisputed Era on NXT television a couple weeks later. But that didn't happen here. They lost, but they lost hard. It took a lot to put them down. And kudos to them. Great emotional ending at the end. This was actually an NXT main event, and that's what we got with this show. It's 5 NXT main events.
And like I said, 15,000 NXT fans. So at the end of this match, when Ricochet and Aleister Black are left in the ring, and they are literally bowing to the crowd.
Yes.
And they end on hard camera side. And the crowd is just, everybody's on their feet. They're getting a standing ovation after losing the match.
Ricochet's in tears.
And then a "You deserve it" chant.
But the War Raiders helped Ricochet up, and then they left the ring and gave them their moment with the crowd.
Yeah.
Their final moment with an NXT exclusive crowd.
Yep. It was beautiful.
Great match, great start. We all knew the War Raiders were going to win because Black and Ricochet are getting called up. They're going bye-bye. They're not taking the belts with them.
Will they win the SmackDown title? This guy thinks so.
Yeah, I think they're going to win the SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
And after this showing tonight, Granted, I still think the Usos will retain, but that'll be damn close.
I'm still sticking with my pick on Usos.
Yeah.
So,
but
it's too late to change it. It's written down.
The likelihood shifted just that much tonight.
After that match, absolutely.
Yeah.
So after this, they show Piper Niven and Toni Storm in the crowd, and of course they're there because they each had matches during the dark
match
pre-show dark matches for the NXT UK show that we'll be watching this. Well, we'll be watching it on Thursday. It will come out on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So they're there. Woohoo. And then we've got Matt Riddle versus Velveteen Dream for the North American Championship next, and Show Stealer. Easily a Show
absolutely.
Stealer. But, I mean, really you could say that for all of the matches except maybe the Fatal 4-Way. But
we knew psychology-wise and physicality-wise this was going to be a mind trip, and sure enough, it was just beautiful, top to bottom. Intros and all.
Yeah, Velveteen Dream especially, he's dressed as the Statue of Liberty. He's got that bright light behind him, so he's got the silhouette thing going on, and that was pretty cool.
He even mentioned the whole crown thing in his promo, and sure enough, I was like, how's that going to come into play? And sure enough...
Before his music hits, it's the end of the Star Spangled Banner, I believe.
Yep.
As he looks like, and he's on this chariot, this platform with a seat and posts that he's holding on to, carried by 4 dudes, and they carry him to the ring.
Very Macho Man Randy Savage-like.
So that was pretty cool, and the whole match was pretty cool. Again, no notes up until the finish. What did you think about the match, Jerry?
We saw a lot of physicality out of Matt Riddle. And then we saw naturally a lot of mind tricks out of Velveteen Dream really early on. And Matt Riddle looking for the sign of respect to begin with the bro bump. And of course, he's going to give Velveteen Dream's going to give him the bitch please look.
Yeah.
It's like you're lucky you're even in the ring with me at all. You think I'm going to touch your fist, and it wasn't going to happen. But little by little, you saw Riddle's frustration growing.
Well, towards the beginning, Matt Riddle got the best of Velveteen Dream a couple of times, and so Velveteen Dream used the mind games. He went for the fist bump. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we'll do that.
And as soon as Bro went for the fist bump, Velveteen Dream went for the leg.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I'm saying, after that, it was just full throttle. We had reversals out of the Bro mission. We had a whole bunch of different strikes. The kicks to the back of the thighs at the beginning, I just thought were hilarious. Because after each one, he would just scream, ow.
Yeah, he sold those kicks very well.
And then, the rolling side suplexes that from Matt Riddle, and, you commenting on Velveteen Dream screams as he was trying to get away.
Yeah.
But the match ended abruptly. I can say kind of abruptly with him flipping the Bro Mission into a pin, and Matt Riddle looked surprised. The crowd wasn't really that shocked, but at the same time,
they liked this finish. They used it with Shayna Baszler. I believe it was Kairi Sane flipped the Baszler lock over, or the Karafuda clutch over, and pinned her like that.
Yep, but at the end of it, you see that Matt Riddle was just infuriated with himself, but he calmed down more and more and more and more to the point where he's completely mellow by the time he got back up. But naturally, he goes for a fist bump again, and Velveteen Dream, he walks away for a second, but then he's like, fuck, he turned around, I'm just giving a fist bump, and that was the end of it. And it was just beautifully crafted match from top to bottom. I didn't take any notes either, but it's also because I was watching so intently with this match because I knew it was going to be the show stealer. I kept on saying that. I hated Matt Riddle. I've got even more respect for him after tonight. I actually see him as a viable main eventer in NXT within this next year. But just tonight was not his night.
Nope. I lost a point on predictions to this, but I am actually kind of glad that Velveteen Dream didn't have a short run.
Couldn't even be mad about it.
What do you think about the match, Colin?
I earned a point on this match. I thought I thought it was fantastic. But before anything, I was not a Matt Riddle fan at all.
Yeah.
Tonight, I became a Matt Riddle fan.
Yeah.
He showed so much in this match. I mean, Velveteen Dream, the dude, starting with the entrance, I mean, amazing. You're in New York. His character is just so up and beyond and flamboyant, and it's just Patrick Clark. Like, the dude's amazing.
Yep.
But no, the match was great. I thought there was so many good spots too. When Dream was coming off the top and gets caught in the triangle.
Yep.
He took his MMA background and really, really, really utilized it with Dream's high flying aspect.
But at the same time,
it meshed so well together. I thought, like, seriously, these two dudes really, really impressed me tonight. I didn't get many notes on it, but everything that I saw, that I loved it. I would like to see this match again.
Every one of these matches can demand repeat viewings.
He's still a viable contender, and since he got the fist bump from Dream at the end of the match, that he earned Dream's respect. So why not go again? On a later date, even just do it on a regular episode of NXT.
Maybe in a ladder match. Change it up a little bit.
But no, I thought it was a fantastic bout, hands down.
Yeah, like you said, Matt Riddle has worked in his abilities from the MMA world into moves for the wrestling ring. But then again, there was a spot on the outside where he delivered a picture-perfect German suplex that just looked brutal. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, he's learning fast.
Oh, we would be hard pressed not to mention the slingshot German into the ring that about dropped Velveteen Dream on his head.
That was crazy.
That
Matt Riddle
nuts.
is on the inside. He's standing on the second rope, and Velveteen Dream's on the outside on the apron, and Matt Riddle pulls him into the ring with a German suplex that pretty much drops Velveteen Dream on his head.
Yeah.
Because he flips all the way over, and I guess he lands on his knees, his palms, and his head. And
yes.
Wow.
It was vicious looking.
Definitely.
Keep building Riddle up, turn him heel, make a monster. Boom, you got him.
Maybe. He's still a little small to be a monster. Maybe.
No, dude. I think I saw a split transformation in Matt Riddle in this match. He started off super duper calm and went fucking high.
maybe like a Chris Benoit monster, but that didn't end well.
Yeah. Not monster among men status, but just
a monster among normal-sized men.
Yeah. A monster among bros, dude.
Moving on.
Up next, we've got the WWE UK Championship being defended by Pete Dunne against Walter. And this, again, show stealer. This was an awesome match.
Let it be known this is the order I called the matches in. Top to frickin' bottom.
Yeah, you got a point for that, but you still didn't win.
I still didn't win.
And you only got a point on the NXT team. You didn't get it on no DQ, I don't think. I don't think they did match.
No, they didn't. That's something we added that I'm glad we did.
Yeah, it actually helped us declare a winner, which was, ding, 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 Noah Foster.
The simple man.
NoDQ.com/Noah, N-O-A-H. That's
congratulations, we didn't save you for the cold open.
We haven't done a cold open yet. We'll do that at the end of the show for the beginning of the show, and then we'll probably use Noah, because it's fun.
Okay.
So, Walter versus Pete Dunne. Holy crap. So, Walter goes up to the top rope 2 or 3 times during this match. Mm-hmm. And you're like, Walter, why? You've got this match won. Why are you going up top? Why? You are too big for this, sir.
Anybody who goes to the top rope against Pete Dunne is about 50-50 idiot, because he's going to catch you with that arm bar and try to break your fingers if you do.
You know what? Pete Dunne followed him up there every time until the end. But when it was the end, it was the goddamn end. Because Walter comes out with this top rope splash number 1. He's got powerbomb number 1 and top rope splash number 1. He did nothing fancy here.
He unveiled powerbomb number 2.
Yeah, he did unveil powerbomb number 2. It is a combination. It ends with a pinfall attempt that he
slides over, stacks him,
seesaws onto him. It looked like a sex position. So give it a name and add it to your game.
I'll do that.
His future card game of, well, we won't unveil it. Somebody will steal it.
Yeah.
So
we're watching Wrestle Talk.
Yeah. Okay. So this match, though, in between the top rope splash number 1, which gets him the pinfall victory, and he becomes the new WWE UK champion.
Yeah.
The rest of the match, though, was still fucking awesome.
Oh yeah.
So many near falls, so many spots where Pete Dunne was just trying to work over Walter's fingers.
Anytime you thought Walter had him locked into something, you saw Pete Dunne's fingers wrap around his fingers and just gripping them, and just ready to rip him off his hand. It was just wonderful to watch.
There were several different times where Walter went for a sleeper hold, and I'm like, every time he goes for this sleeper hold, somebody or the person that it's being put on grabs that arm that he inevitably has right here because he's such a big dude. And they grab the arm and they pull it down and they break it. I'm like, what do you think Pete Dunne's going to do? Sure enough, he pulls it down, grabs the fingers. You know, everywhere in this match that Pete Dunne had an opportunity to work over Walter's fingers, he did. Unfortunately, the finish of this match had nothing to do with Walter's fingers.
And last time I checked our NXT team chat, Cindy had said there was 24 chops to Pete Dunne's
26.
chest. 26? Okay, so I missed 2 somewhere, 26. But yes, 26 chops to Pete Dunne.
What do you think about this match, Colin?
Jesus Christ.
Crucifix pin. That happens in there too.
R.I.P. Pete Dunne's chest. R.I.P. Pete Dunne's title reign.
Yeah.
My God. Yes, I agree, Stephen. When I saw him go to the top rope, I'm like, oh, Jesus Lord, what is going to happen here? Especially, like you said, Pete followed him up every single time. The one time he smashed his fingers on, when he does that manipulation and bends it down, smashed his fingers on top of the turnbuckle. I remember he tried to flip off and necessarily pretty much powerbomb him at one point and got blocked real hard, but he did hit it the second time. And it was pretty neat seeing Pete Dunne hit a bitter end on Walter's big ass. That's a big man.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's I think the biggest dude he's done it on yet.
I think the spot where Pete Dunne catches Walter where he's standing on the ropes in the corner
powerbomb
and gets him up for a powerbomb, Jerry's like, well, that answers the question if he can do the bitter end to him. And I'm like, not really. I was like, he didn't lift him up for that. He was in the air and he just grabbed him. Mm-hmm. And sure, he held him up, but can he perform the bitter end? Sure enough, he can perform the bitter end. Mm-hmm. And didn't get the pinfall. I didn't think it would. I think even Jerry said it took 3 of those in order to get a pinfall on just Joe Coffey.
Yeah.
And we're talking Walter here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, Pete Dunne was a badass here.
I like the storytelling that Dunne was doing, trying to work on the hands, be able to stop the chops, the power of Walter, his deadly weapon, basically. There was one chop sequence where he hit him in the front and then hit him straight in the back, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in the back of the face of the neck. Like, that was so brutal. A funny spot, though, was in the beginning of the match when
Dunne shrugged at him.
When Dunne straight hit him with a forearm right in the chest, and then down he goes. Down he goes, and he's like looking. He's like, "Oh, damn it! I shouldn't have done that."
Okay. Side note, real quick. We need to start saying anytime anybody falls down really hard, they fall down like a Trent 7.
Sack of potatoes.
I'll make note of it once I find my pen. But go on, Colin. Sorry.
No, I was happy with the placement of this match, even though I didn't get it in my order. I had it second, but it was a good momentum because we had a really good momentum going from the beginning of the card, and letting the UK guys shine right in the middle of the show like that. It was a great match. Pete Dunne, I wonder what's next for him. Maybe a call up. Maybe we're going to see a little roster change here, but from here on out, the UK belongs to Walter.
Yep. Can't be I can't even be mad about it. Like, I even posted that. Like,
no, I'm not mad about it at all.
I lost the point because I was the only one that actually was pulling for Pete Dunne to actually win this match, and I can't be mad about it because it was such a fantastic match.
I can't be mad because of the ending. He hits a fucking splash off the top rope. Like,
I know.
He goes back up to the top rope, and Pete Dunne follows him, and you're like, fuck. And Pete Dunne goes for a Hurricane Rana, and you're like, no, don't do that.
Don't, no.
And I think actually instead he was going for like a hanging armbar.
Yeah, and then...
But Walter counters it into a power bomb off the middle
First, I think that's where we get slap number 26 to Pete Dunne's chest, like a frying pan-like slap. I'm like, this is like Big Show sitting up on top of the ring and just...
So after the power bomb off the middle rope, Walter's got this one, but he goes back to the top rope. And again, I'm like, what are you doing, Walter? But when they pan out, Pete Dunne is still laying there, and he's prone, and he's in the position, and Walter hits it. And it's, for the guy that size, it's amazing looking. And sure enough, new champ. And his music gets really boring to watch a shocked crowd to once it gets past the good start. It's just like any
there was a lot of emotion in that ring. You saw Pete Dunne's world just come crumbling down. Even Drake was like, wow, this is big.
So after this match, we get more guests in the crowd. We've got Edge and Beth Phoenix. And Beth Phoenix gets the chance from the crowd. That was interesting. Mm-hmm. Any notes? Any comments?
Edge has got his hair grown back out. So I'm thinking he's going to either... I don't think he can return back to the ring naturally, but it does look like he's camera ready, possibly going back to the actual main roster. That would be excellent.
Well, he was recently training at the PC with like Beth or something. I read somewhere.
I would not be against him becoming like a GM for a show, or possibly pulling off like some sort of one-match deal.
Hey, let's have him come back and manage Hawkins and Ryder after they win tag titles tomorrow.
There you go.
Oh man, he's gonna be appear and hand them the belts. How awesome would that be?
But to grow your hair out long just for that, either that or he just wanted his hair long.
That's him.
Yeah, maybe he missed it.
Beth digs it, so.
It's like I fell in love with the dude, not with a crew cut.
So up next, we have the match that kind of brings the crowd back down to a simmer, in words that maybe Colin would understand.
We kind of have to.
That's a low roll. It's barely going.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad match. In fact, you've got 4 really good women's wrestlers in this match.
A lot of variables.
And you've got a lot of the time spent with Io Shirai and Kairi Sane playing tag team. They were playing the Sky Princesses, or the Sky Pirates, or whatever the fuck
Sky
they
Pirates.
Whatever they are.
They were doing a lot of tag team stuff, and when they finally had to wrestle each other, it looked so choreographed. It was just laughable.
Mm-hmm.
Like extremely choreographed. Not fluid at all. Well, maybe too fluid. I don't know.
I think it was too fluid. I think
just slow.
I think it was also the fact that they're really bringing up the fact that their former tag team in Japan, also with Asuka, I think it was the third member of their group, and they've wrestled together. They've wrestled against each other so many times. They are Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers. They just know each other.
Well, there was a lot of near falls in this match, including ones where Kairi Sane had to break up Io Shirai's opportunity to win, and Io Shirai had to break up Kairi Sane's opportunity to win.
Yep.
And this led me to believe that neither one of these chicks is going to win. So I thought, hopefully, I'm getting a point here, because I called for Bianca Belair. And there was a point where she had this one. She hit a double. What does she call it? The KOD.
KOD.
Yeah.
The Kiss of
Kiss
Death.
of Death.
She hits both Kairi Sane and Io Shirai from on top of her shoulders, stacked up, over top, down, face first, in a plant. Both of them. And I'm like, wow.
Yep.
She is strong as fuck.
Yep.
Because it's one thing to hold them up. It's another thing to go from the corner where she grabbed, I think it was Io Shirai.
Yeah.
Off the top rope to the middle of the ring. And then to push them both in a very awkward sense. And they're not going to be able to help.
Yeah.
She has to push them both up and over into this face plant. And wow. And I thought I got 2 points here. Because she was about to pin Kairi Sane with that. Until Shayna Baszler came in and just snatched her up with the Kirifuda clutch.
Yep.
And eventually she just had to tap.
Yep. Because she kept on rolling around. She finally just rolled into it, and that was it. But
her taking the fall is what put Noah over.
Yep. Here's the thing with this. This kind of factors more into my WrestleMania theory. Because now Ronda Rousey can win both titles.
Yes.
And Shayna Baszler comes out there with her NXT belt. Comes out there with Duke and Shafir. MMA 4 horsewomen standing out in the middle of the ring at the end of WrestleMania.
It could happen.
It's becoming more of a reality, people. You're just going to have to deal with it.
Or
just
Shayna
like
Baszler is just staying in NXT for a while longer.
But it doesn't matter. It's going to be celebrating the fact that they're champions on their respective brands.
Sure.
That they won.
Still holding out for Becky Lynch to win. Because that's what everybody wants, except this guy for some reason. The guy that hates Ronda Rousey wants
I don't want Rousey to win. I want her to win long enough that she relinquishes the belt and restarts the evolution. It'll be actually really cool.
Okay. So, any notes on this match, Colin?
I was really shocked, honestly, that Baszler retained. I had Belair take it in a pinfall or submit, whatever.
Yeah.
She was the one that was going to take it. So I was this close to beating Noah. This close. I was like next in line. Match. I like the spot when Shayna went to grab Bianca's hair through the ring posts.
Yes.
And we saw a repeat of the last time they had their match for the NXT Women's Championship, and Belair got the upper hand this time and just pulled that bitch straight back to her. And,
Yeah, I would have thought that Baszler would have let go of the hair as it avoided getting pulled into the room. But whatever.
I know. That double KOD, that was tremendous. Like, the strength behind that was great. The storytelling between Sarai and Zayn are, they're playing they're friends, but they have to fight each other. But I see this breaking down more into a feud here here in the next, I don't know, 6 weeks or so. Maybe a little bit longer if needed. But I see them, one of them turning on each other and going heel.
I can see that happening if Bayley and Sasha come to NXT to defend the tag team titles, and Io Shirai and Kairi Sane are the one tag team that's legit, like the one that should go for them, the only legitimate tag team that they've got right now, because Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne are kind of a joke, and Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir are definitely a joke. Yes. But then they lose that match, and that starts a downward spiral. But for now, I think they need to be saved for that match.
I don't know. I thought it was a decent match, but it wasn't. It wasn't up to what I thought it was going to be. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
So
good match. I wouldn't say this was great. This would probably be my least favorite match.
I was about to say, it's going to be the least favorite of the card because A, there are so many different things going on, and B, we just got done watching Pete Dunne versus Walter. That was pretty much going to be a classic regardless. Now it's going to be hard to follow. Both the matches we had already were going to be hard to follow.
Yeah, see, with a card like this, it's hard to put it in an order because all the matches are so unique, but yet so damn good that it's just so hard to follow.
It's like for me, like when I was stacking the card. For me, when I was stacking the card in general, I put the most inconsequential match right at the beginning, which was War Raiders versus Aleister Black and Ricochet, because we already had in our heads that they were going to be leaving. From there, you would have the secondary belt, which is the North American title. Have that because the third match will be the showcase match, the NXT or the NXT UK, WWE UK Championship belt, and then we'll have the two most important singles belts in NXT, the women's title and the men's title. And that's it. That's what I'm going to refer to as the general order from here on in. So that's how I'm going to pretty much lay out any match like for TakeOver now.
So you're going to go tag team titles, North American title, showcase match, and then women's title, men's title. Sounds good.
It sounds solid every time.
And that brings us to the fifth of those.
Yep, the main
event.
And Lord help us.
Support, no DQ.
So in the main event, we've got Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole for the vacant NXT Championship. 2 out of 3 falls. There's actually another title that we are told is being added to the victor of this match.
Yes.
And that is the first ever NXT Triple Crown champion.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
So that's pretty cool. And yeah, totally. Tag team titles, mid-card, and main title.
Yeah.
So, this was a hell of a match 3 times over.
Yeah, this was 3 Raw or SmackDown main events in one main event.
And I've got notes for all 3 falls, but before I get into this, as our special guest, Colin, why don't you give us your thoughts on the main event?
I want to shake both these men's hands and tell them thank you for such a great show. That's what I think of it. It was everything that you could think of and more. These two gentlemen put themselves through hell. Johnny Gargano, Cleveland's own, defied all the odds tonight.
Definitely. All the odds.
He defied all odds tonight. He had
Iron Man tends to.
All members of Undisputed Era come down. He had to fight through all of them. Adam Cole kicked him in the head I don't know how many goddamn times.
Yeah,
it was a super kick party for sure.
The spot where Johnny Gargano goes to do the spear from the slingshot through the ropes and he gets caught with the super kick. Jesus.
Yes.
I thought it was over right there.
Yeah. I actually missed the first fall. Walking in from the car to the TV because it does that transition thing from Wi-Fi to not Wi-Fi real quick. Everything just buffers. I just turn it off real quick. But I was super shocked that Gargano won because I figured that they were going to be doing something with him since they were teased on the main roster, and then Ciampa got hurt, etc. So I figured he would still come up to the main roster or go to 205 Live, and he's the one that beats Buddy Murphy or whatever, or Tony Nese or whatever happens. But this match was incredible. It was the match of the night, hands down, 3 times over, I should say. Yeah. It was everything I wanted and more, except for the ending. But the ending, the closing segment.
Oh yeah,
is what the whole world's going to talk about now.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
We weren't crying.
Yeah, I know, right? Like as I'm sitting there watching Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano stand there with their hands up on the at the top of the stage, and all you see is someone walk back or walk out the curtain, and it's Tommaso Ciampa. And he's walking real slow, has a blank look on his face. He gets close and just hugs Gargano, and they just hold each other and say something.
Not just Gargano, but Candice too.
Candice LeRae is all smiled and hugging too.
Yeah, it was
smiling huge while hugging Tommaso Ciampa.
It was the 3 best friends that anyone could have moment.
Yes.
It was
wonderful ending. He deserves it. Anxious to see what's next for Adam Cole, but my God, these two guys.
Absolutely, yeah. There were several points where we were clapping during the match. Like, it was crazy.
We had no choice but to.
I'm driving home and I have it mounted next to my steering wheel in my little clip.
Oh no!
And
we do not promote that.
We do not promote watching sports entertainment while driving.
I'm not watching it. I just have it hooked through my set.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
No, I swear.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm not against. But man, I'm yelling.
Do you swear on Randy Savage?
I'm tapping the steering wheel. I'm like, no, come on! Like it was great. It was wonderful.
So Adam Cole wins the first fall with a last shot. Traditional wrestling style.
Yeah.
But that was the first fall, and Gargano wins the second fall with a Gargano escape that Cole almost immediately taps to. He knows he's got another fall to work with. He doesn't want to get injured here.
Yeah.
So make him break the hold as soon as possible, kind of thing. And then the third fall... he ends up fucking tapping to another Gargano escape. It takes a lot longer this time, but he had the entirety of the Undisputed Era come out. Roderick Strong comes out and distracts the ref while he gets the upper hand. Frickin' Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Fish come in.
Bobby Fish.
Yeah. Oh, come in and do their version of the high-low, which is like a sweep and a European uppercut. And this still doesn't get Adam Cole the win.
No.
Like, because I think he pushed the
referee, or pushed Gargano into the referee.
Which knocked the referee out of the ring. And I guess this was why Jake wasn't the referee for this match. Or Drake. Not Jake.
And then they hit the high-low, and then Roddy threw the referee back in.
Couldn't get a 3 count.
Yeah.
Nope.
And then he ends up hitting a kick to the head, a kick to the back of the head, 2 super kicks, and then drills him with the last shot. Still can't get a pinfall. This is where Johnny Gargano shows his heart, because he went down to the first last shot, not this one. He kicks out. He ends up taking out all of the Undisputed Era on the outside with just some sweet wrestling moves. At one point, he does. I guess he's doing like a bulldog, but he comes off with a kick to another guy while he's doing it.
Or Roderick Strong. He's doing it to Bobby Fish, I believe it was. And he kicked.
Yeah, he was doing it to Bobby Fish. Yeah, it looked like he was going for a running, swinging bulldog and just clocked Roddy.
Yeah, it was sweet, and he gets
amazing.
He gets the tap out victory. As he's getting back up, Candice LeRae comes out and she's celebrating with him, and then they take the celebration up the ramp, and there comes Tommaso Ciampa, and he sneaks up on him, and as soon as Johnny Gargano sees him, he smiles, and you're like, oh, so we're now for real.
Yeah, this
is IRL now.
Yeah, this is really happening.
This is best friends moment. Okay, we're going to do this. That Panama Sunrise though.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
He didn't deliver as well as he did in the five-way match on NXT, but he ate it, and it was vicious.
Well, it took him a couple of tries. He went for it like twice and missed, and then this time he hit it, didn't get the pinfall. He went for it again, and I'm like, oh, don't go for it again. He didn't hit the fourth time either.
Nope.
But he didn't hit it square. But I guess that's good because it protects Johnny Gargano from breaking his fucking neck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the end of the main event, and on What's NXT, we rate the main event using the General's 5-star rating system. And as our special guest, Colin, you get to go first. Out of 5 stars, where do you rate this main event?
All right, so I am going to give this a 4.5, but I'm going to use your rule, and for a good card, another 1/4 star, so I'm going 4 3/4 stars.
Nice. Jerry?
All right. So 15 years ago, March 4th, 2000, let's see, 15 years?
2003?
2000.
2004.
2004.
Chris Benoit, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, main event at WrestleMania. Chris Benoit gets Triple H to tap out to the crippler crossface in the middle of the ring, wins the world title. Eddie Guerrero comes out at the end, both of them hug, confetti flying everywhere. That was this moment 15 years ago.
And to put some more background on this, the end of this match where Johnny Gargano had the Gargano escape locked onto Cole, Cole almost makes it to the ropes, and Johnny Gargano does a rollback, much like Benoit did when he had the crippler crossface.
This has Triple H written all over it. This match.
He did a rollback back to the ring where there's no ropes near, and that's where Adam Cole had to tap. So that's what calls up this moment.
And there was blood.
And there was blood.
Yep.
There was blood. But
that, combined with the fact that they pretty much pulled this match out of their ass. But you can tell, it almost feels like they've been working on this match and working on this feud for almost a solid year. We were already emotionally invested in this match because all the stuff that's going on with Ciampa and what we thought we should have been getting, which was Gargano versus Ciampa. So
there was even spots where we saw the fairy tale ending.
Fairy tale ending onto the announce table that did not break.
Gotta love those.
That is some stable table. All right, because even then that harkened back to Triple H versus Kurt Angle. They both got concussed because the table collapsed. Triple H was like, not my main event. So for all that to occur, for the sweet ending, like the sweet interference with the whole Undisputed Era getting taken out by Gargano, he had that whole sympathetic babyface thing going the entire match. Like, the crowd was solidly behind Adam Cole when he came out to that ring. He was a hometown favorite because Barclays Center, that's his jam. That's his place. That's his Madison Square Garden. That's where he makes shit happen. But he didn't make shit happen tonight. Gargano did. And then we get that touching ending and everything. Fuck it. 5 stars. I give it, because I would give it 4 3/4, but I give it the same way that Colin and you do. 1/4 up for a stellar card. This was the perfect main event. This will probably go down as at least, I think it's the top contender for match of the year right now.
I think the way that it ended, you're right. If Adam Cole had won the match based off the interference from the Undisputed Era,
that would have cheapened it.
And it would have brought the quality of all of this down. But the story they told was Johnny Gargano finally winning the big one. And they highlighted it there at the end when they had Tommaso Ciampa come out and congratulate him IRL, to the point to where Candice LeRae is hugging Tommaso Ciampa with a smile on her face.
Yes.
Like, they are completely breaking kayfabe, and they're trying to jerk everybody into tears before they go home.
Succeeding.
And they put the stamp on this immediately after the show goes off the air. They've got Charlotte Flair talking about her dead brother.
They're talking about Reed.
She's at his grave.
Putting her action figure in his flowers. Oh my god.
I'm going to agree with 5 stars.
Oh.
Based off of what you said, 4 3/4, add an extra quarter for the rest of the show, because wow, what a show. And one of these days it's going to end up 5 1/4 stars.
Yeah, so there's going to be a whole new ranking system.
There hasn't been one yet, honestly.
Oh no,
this was an exceptional match, but it was not perfect. So 4 3/4 with the extra quarter, I landed at 5.
Yeah.
5 stars. And that brings us to the end of this episode, very special episode of What's NXT. And wow, that was NXT TakeOver New York. I think this gets me pumped a little bit for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I feel a little more like, all right, hopefully maybe we can get something delivered to us now. That
at the very least,
you know,
I've got more hype going into the tag match for the SmackDown Championships.
Yeah, I do too. I definitely do too.
So
I think
I'm excited to see.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm excited to see. Sorry, buddy. I'm excited to see Ricochet and Aleister Black are down with the Usos. I mean, that's really all. Like out of those 4 teams, those are the 2 teams I'm looking forward to.
In a fatal 4-way where there's no rules.
Yeah.
Or well, there's no disqualification. That is.
I'm actually great. I don't watch the main brand programs, but I can't wait to hear the results for the Raw and SmackDowns because I want to see who gets called up. I want to see if my ship comes to fruition. If it does, that'll be my I told you so. I won't care about a prediction title because I'll predicted the future of the company versus a pay-per-view.
So, Colin, where can we find you?
Yes. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Colin26Andrew. You can find me on my YouTube channel, Colin Andrew. Keep supporting NoDQ.com. It's the shit. Creme de la creme.
The creme de la
finest news around.
Finest news.
You're gonna love it. I guarantee it.
It's all the news. That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's
all you need.
No DQ. All you need. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Aftermatch Wrestling keeps supporting these fine gentlemen in the video with me, doing big things. We're trying. Noah Foster, he's one hell of a simple man.
NoDQ.com/Noah.
Yep. Thanks for having me on again. This is our second TakeOver review.
Yes. Pull our butts out of the fire again.
Much the same circumstances, yes.
What's that?
Much the same circumstances, pulling our butts out of the fire again.
For anybody that watches our regular shows, we were hoping for Jeff Meacham tonight, but again, schedules
circumstances,
yeah. So we wish Jeff the best. He's not sick or anything, just scheduling conflicts.
But before he finishes up his plugs, Jeff, I am sorry.
Oh yes.
Oh my God. Okay, I have to mention this real quick. That last night was the World Trivia Challenge between him and Greg Cherry, and the first point that he actually passed, I think it was.
No, he got it wrong.
No, he got wrong because he said Armstrong.
And Cherry got the point, and he could have passed, but we don't know if he would have gotten the pass. He still wouldn't have won the match because he still would have lost by 1 point.
Yeah.
But still, that's where his momentum turned, was on Jerry's question.
My question was, who's Jericho's opponent when he first unleashed his list of 1,004 holds on Monday Nitro, and it was against Mario Jannetty, and now I feel horrible.
Because Greg knew it, but Jeff did not.
No.
It is a very obscure question. Leave it to this guy for obscure questions.
I'm a Chris Jericho. I'm Chris Jericho Mark. So
little did he know he'd be one of like a dozen Chris Jericho questions on that.
Yeah,
episode.
Seriously,
99 questions.
Many Jerichos, my God.
That just shows how influential he is in a company.
99 questions, and the Generals is the one that rocked Jeff Meacham. So we apologize, Jeff, or at least he does. It wasn't my fault. I didn't submit any questions. I never have any good questions. I've submitted.
I got one of mine.
Yeah, we noticed that. Congrats on that.
I was happy with that.
Yeah, the American males question.
Yep. Had to take it a little old school. Yeah.
All right. So.
Well, we thank you for being on the show, and as always, if you guys want to join us on the big screen and help us review a future episode of NXT UK, or possibly just do an episode of the Rated R Report, or in a pinch do some predictions or a review with us even.
Or if you have a good potato salad recipe, we're attention for if we want you on here.
Just find me on Twitter. Go to nodq.com/Stefan. That's STEFAN. Or if you just want to find me on Twitter, it's at Stefan R. Osborne, OSBORNE. As always, the R stands for restricted. You can also find this gentleman on Twitter
at NoDQ General, and also on my Facebook group Armbar, all capital ARMBAR, exclamation point.
Nice.
It's right there, smack dab in the middle tonight.
There's always a lag, so instead of saying exclamation point, he goes above and beyond, man.
Yes, it's awesome.
It's a beautiful exclamation point.
It's always on point.
On point. If you like this video, you should click the like button that's underneath me. If you like all of our videos, you should probably click the subscribe button underneath Jerry. Somewhere down there. In between there is a share button. Share this with your friends if they watch NXT. Go ahead. We'll wait. Click the like. Click the subscribe. There you go. Click the share.
We are so proud to have you.
Now it's going to bring up a little bar on your phone that's going to give you all the outlets that you can share this video on. So just click Facebook and share it. You don't have to type anything, although if you want to, some praise would be nice. Entice people to watch the show. We just want to talk to you about wrestling, and so share it with your friends so we can talk to them too. Also, join us on Aftermatch Wrestling. That is our channel. All of these videos go up about a day early on that channel, and we've got some exclusive content, some rated R reports, where we talk to our guests after shows and any topics on the books. Nothing's off limits, and even movies, earnest movies, and
Pauly Shore
movies. So
and Orange Coke
all day.
Join us on Aftermatch for that. Our goal right now is 100 subscribers, and once we get to 100, we will start doing What's NXT Live, including these review shows because they are a subsidiary of What's NXT. We will be doing them live so that we can get questions from you guys, and we will answer them at the end of the videos. In the meantime,
67 subscribers.
Yeah, we are at 67 and counting.
We got one?
We got one today.
All right.
So
that was me.
Again, we are still 2/3 of the way there, and we are getting there. So pretty soon we will start doing these live. Depends on you guys. Share the video. Maybe we'll get a few extra subscribers.
Seriously though, if you're watching this, chances are you've watched the New York TakeOver. If you didn't, shame on you. Get the WWE Network, go to a friend that has one, hijack their password, do whatever the fuck you have to do. Do not miss this event.
Yeah, NXT TakeOver New York.
Yes.
Wow. Great show.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, exclamation
point.
Explanation point.
Explanation point.
So, yes. For the Cleaver, Colin Andrew. For the General, Jerry Slaughter, I'm the Wizard of No DQ, Stephen Osborne. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you in NXT time.